You don't need to find yourself. You need to stop living the edited version of you. Because maybe the problem is not that you are lost. Maybe the problem is that you have spent too many years making yourself easier to accept, easier to love, easier to need, easier to work with, easier to live with. And at some point, you became so good at being acceptable that you lost contact with what is actually true for you. Not all at once. That is not how it usually happens. Most women do not wake up one morning and decide to abandon themselves. It happens in small, reasonable moments. You say yes because saying no would create tension. You stay quiet because speaking up would make things complicated. You lower your standards because you do not want to seem demanding. Or you hide your ambition because you don't want to be too much. Or maybe you soften your truth because you don't want to hurt anyone. You become flexible, understanding, reliable, low maintenance, maybe useful, and people praise you for it. They call you strong, they call you easygoing, or they call you supportive. They say, I don't know how you do it all. And for a while, maybe that feels good. Because being needed can feel like being loved. Or being praised can feel like being seen. Or being reliable can feel like having a place. But there's a price. And many women only start to feel that price in their 40s or 50s or later. Not because something suddenly goes wrong, but because something inside them finally gets loud enough to hear. Maybe a quiet question, is this really my life? Not the life I built, not the life that looks good, not the life other people understand, but my life, the one that has my truth in it, my desire, my voice, my energy, my standards, my full self. Because you can build a life that works and still feel you are not fully in it. You can have the career, the family, the home, the busy calendar, the responsibilities, the respect, and still have this private inner feeling that something essential has been left out. And that feeling is not always like dramatic. It may not look like a midlife crisis. It may look like sitting in your car for 3 extra minutes before going inside your house. It may look like scrolling at night because you do not want to be alone with your own thoughts. Or it may look like being irritated by small things when the real problem is much bigger. It may like waking up and thinking, I should be grateful, while another part of you whispers, but I want more. More space, more truth, more aliveness, more of yourself in your own life. And then the guilt or the shame comes in. Who am I to want more? Who am I to question this? Other people have real problems. My life is fine. I should not complain. But in my opinion, wanting more does not mean you are ungrateful. It may mean you are underexpressed. It may mean the life you built was right for a previous version of you, a version that needed safety or approval or stability, success, a role, a place. And maybe that version of you did what she had to do. She worked hard, she held things together, she made responsible choices, she became the woman people count on. There's no shame or guilt in that. But now you may be standing at a different point. Not because you failed, but because you are waking up. Waking up can feel uncomfortable. Because once you start telling yourself the truth, your truth, it becomes harder to keep performing the old version of you and your life. You start noticing where you say yes, but really mean no. You start noticing where you laugh, but feel unseen. You start noticing where you look or be successful, but feel unused. You start noticing where you are respected, but not really alive. And that maybe is painful, because the edited version of you may be very successful, she may be admired, she may be needed, she may be the one who gets things done. But she's not the whole truth. She is the version of you that learned how to survive in systems around her. Family systems, work environments, relationships, cultural systems. The invisible rules about what a good girl, a good woman is supposed to be or supposed to do. Do not be selfish. Do not be difficult. Do not be too loud. Do not want too much. Do not change too much. Do not disappoint people. Do not outgrow the life everyone knows you in. So you edit a little here, a little there. You edit your anger into politeness, or you edit your desire into reason, or you edit your ambition into maybe someday. You edit your no into let me think about it. You edit your truth into something easier to digest. And then, months, years later, you wonder why you feel so far away from yourself. But here's what I want you to hear. Your real self is not gone. She's not broken. She's not missing. She is under the edits, under the roles, under the expectations. She's still under the years of being reasonable, under the life you kept managing when maybe a part of you was no longer in it. And coming back to yourself is not about becoming a new person. It is about telling the truth about the person who has been there all along. The woman with real desires, real opinions, real standards, real hunger, real creativity, real power. The woman who does not just want to cope with her life. She wants to create one that actually fits her. And that is a very different conversation, because this is not about self-improvement. You are not a project. You are not a broken thing to fix. And you are not here to become a more productive version of the same exhausted woman. You are here to become more honest with yourself, more awake, more present in your own life, more willing to ask, what do I really want now? What have I outgrown? Where am I still performing? What part of me have I made too small? Or what kind of life would actually require my full potential? Not just my discipline, not just my responsibility, not just my ability to hold everything together. My full potential, my voice, my courage, my creativity, my truth, my joy, my leadership, my death, my desire. Because your potential is not just what you can achieve. It is what can move through you when you stop living in a shape that's too small. And maybe that's why the old answers do not longer work. A new planner would not solve this. Another morning routine will not solve this. Another weekend away will not solve this. Another attempt to be more grateful will not solve this. Not if the deeper truth is, I've been living a life that does not have enough of me in it. And it may hurt, but it can also set you free. Because once you stop blaming yourself for feeling restless or tired or numb or somehow disconnected, you can start listening. Maybe your restlessness is not a flaw. Maybe it is intelligence. Maybe your dissatisfaction is not drama. Maybe it is direction. Maybe your longing is not unrealistic. Maybe it is a part of you that still remembers what you came here to become. And no, this does not mean you have to blow up your life. You don't have to quit your job tomorrow, or you don't have to leave your relationship. You do not have to make a dramatic announcement. You do not have to become reckless to become real. But you are allowed to stop lying to yourself, gently, clearly, consistently. You have to stop calling it is fine when it's not true. You have to stop calling it selfish when it is your soul asking for air. You have to stop calling it too late when it may actually be the first honest beginning. Because the second half of your life is not a consolation prize. It is not the smaller part. It is not the part where you quietly maintain what you build and ask for less. It may be the part where you finally stop living from approval and start living from alignment. It may be the part where you stop asking, what will they think? And start asking, what is true for me? It may be the part where you stop proving that you are good enough and start creating a life that is big enough for the woman you are actually. So today, do not ask yourself, how do I find myself? Ask yourself, where did I edit myself? Where did I make myself smaller to stay loved or safe, needed or approved? Where am I still performing a version of me that I've already outgrown? And then ask the question that may change everything. What would my life look like if I stopped betraying the woman I already knew I really am? Do not answer too fast. Let it land. Because in your real life, you may not begin with a plan. It may begin with one honest moment. One place where you stop pretending, or one sentence you finally admit, or one desire you stop dismissing. One no you stop apologizing for. One yes that actually belongs to you. This is how you come back. Not all at once, not perfectly, not by becoming someone else, but by removing these little edits, by listening again, by choosing again, by creating a life that can hold more of you. Because you are not too late or too old, you are not too much, you are not wrong for wanting more. You are simply too awake now to keep living as an edited version of yourself. I'm Katja, and this place or this space, this channel is for women who are done pretending this life is enough. Women who look capable, responsible, and put together, but privately know there is more in them than the life they are currently living. Here we talk about identity, desire, courage, and the second half of life. Not as a crisis, but as a return. And if this speaks to you or to a part of you that is tired of performing, tired of normal, subscribe and write reclaim in the comments if you are ready to stop living the edited version of yourself. Thank you for being here. See you in the next video. Bye.